Hi, everyone. This is Denise Martinez-Scanziani. I'm here again on Saturday at 2 o'clock for Candidates Corner. As you know, we promised to make this time available for everyone who might want to learn more about my judicial race, my campaign, who I am, and to have you ask any questions that you might have regarding these upcoming elections, specifically regarding my race. So again, I'm Denise Martinez-Scanziani, and I am running for Miami-Dade County Circuit Court Judge. First today, this is the weekend of Memorial Day, and I wanted to take a moment to thank all of those who have served in our armed forces, particularly my brother, who was a member of the Air Force. We remember those that we have lost as they have fought for our country and that protecting our freedoms. So thank you, everyone, and those who have family members also who have done so. So we're still in the middle of this coronavirus sort of kind of pandemic in Miami-Dade County, and we are basically okay, hold on a second. Someone told me, oh wait, I'm sideways. Okay, so if we're sideways, we're gonna have to do some technical adjustments here. Let's see. Okay, hold on a second, guys. So we're having some technical difficulties. Am I sideways? Okay, can you go on and see if we are? Okay. Well, anyway, if I have to look at you like this, I'm sorry. In the middle of this pandemic in Miami-Dade County, we are still now approaching phase one, and as we're starting to resume our lives. Sorry, I just saw a picture of myself sideways. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to switch this. I'm gonna just take it off and then just hold it up. Yeah, thank you guys. Hi, I'm sideways. See, I did that on purpose just to make sure you guys were watching, paying attention. Yes, I know, we're fixing it. So now we're gonna just have somebody hold it for me right there. Is this better? Okay, we're getting it situated. Hold on. We're getting it situated. Well, anyway, we're going to do our best here today, but thank you. That was a test to make sure that you were actually watching and that you were actually paying attention and that you were messaging me. So anyway, here I am again on Candidates Corner. We're getting ready to start being a little bit, I guess, getting back to our normal lives a little bit. But I wanted to make sure that I took every single opportunity to speak to the voters and answer any questions. We have received questions from last time, and so thank you very much. Streaming live today, as I will be every Saturday at 2 p.m. I encourage all of you to please continue to follow our social media because I'm putting myself out there as much as possible. I'm the type of candidate that I want to be out there meeting folks, and unfortunately I can't. So this is the way that I'm doing it. So I invite you to tell a friend, share this page. These videos then get posted on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and all the wonderful places. You can share that as well. So once again, let me tell you a little bit about myself. When it comes to, hold on a second, guys. Okay. Wait, I'm lost. Oh, okay. So, sorry, just some technical glitches today. I apologize. Okay. A little bit about myself. Again, I am Denise Martinez-Scanziani. I've been an attorney for over 20 years. I have been practicing at the trial and appellate level, and now I'm running for circuit court judge. I need to be able to speak the volume so the microphone. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. You guys, I wish you could see what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, I have some people helping. You guys shut off those. Hold on a second. Oh, this is so funny. All right, so this is probably one video that we will not be keeping on the post, but no, in all seriousness, okay. So 20 years as an attorney practicing at the trial and appellate level, and I wanted to share a little bit about my background. Specifically, I wanted to focus on my early years as an attorney. I'd like to give some shout outs to hi Pablo, Eileen, Alexa, Diksha. Thank you for joining. Hey, hi Estella, Jack. Thank you for joining. So after I graduated from the University of Florida, I've always had a heart to serve. I've always had a heart and a passion to give back to my community. And the way that I saw fit to do this when I first graduated was to start working as a legal aid attorney. And I worked for legal aid, and honestly, I have to tell you, it was such a rewarding time for me. All of my clients were indigent, and I worked specifically in the Senior Citizen Law Project. Okay, and that was a very special community for me. All of my clients were the only requirement was that they were indigent, they could not afford legal services, and that they had to be 65 years old as a minimum. Okay, so what ended up happening is I represented this community in, I'm a little bit crooked here. Hold on a second. Hey, Kayla. Thanks for joining. So I got to help senior citizens, anybody 65 or older, with any legal problem they may have. And this population is so needy and so vulnerable. And my heart was there to assist them and serve them. And that really created that real certainty and knowledge in me that as an attorney, I have the power and the ability to be able to give back to my community. I help them with domestic issues, whether it's divorce, domestic violence, evictions, landlord-tenant issues, whether it was Social Security or disability, immigration, whatever it was, those were my clients. And it was such a rewarding time for me. And that began my service as an attorney. And throughout the years, I never forgot, and I never went to a big firm or anything like that. I just continued in that line of work. And then I went out on my own. And the reason I chose to go out on my own was because I never wanted somebody to tell me that I couldn't help so-and-so, or I couldn't do pro bono work, or whatever the case may be. I wanted to be my own boss and call the shots that way. And thankfully I was able to do that for the past 20 years, or actually not 20 years, but after I went out on my own, I was able to do that. And I have continued to do that throughout the years. I have continued to give back in every way that I possibly could. I've done appeals on a pro bono basis. I've represented clients pro bono, because one thing that moves me and moves me passionately is when I see an injustice. So if I'm faced with an injustice in front of me and I know that I have the power and the ability to do something about it, you better believe I'm going to damn well try. For real. That's just who I am. Hey, Shamel. Oh my goodness. One of my former students, because I was also a high school teacher. Yes, I was a high school teacher. And now some of my students they're doing such wonderful things. They're all over the place. They're lawyers. They're in Chicago. They're in film. I mean, it's very rewarding. I heard back from some of them recently during Teacher Appreciation Week, and they shared some of their, I guess, favorite thoughts about, or whatever they remembered from my time as their teacher. And honestly, yes, you're right. It was at Monsignor Pace. I have to give a shout out to Pace, because that place is also, everyone there is still a family to me. Hey, Ron, good to see you. Say hi to Missy. So that path that I've always followed in my career has led me to where I am now. Okay, because I've been asked, okay, so why do you need to do this? Why do you feel compelled to become a judge? And I have to tell you, it's that heart in me to serve. It's that heart in me to give back. This is the absolute best way that I know at this point in my career, with my experience, with what I've done, with everything I've seen. It's to give back and be the kind of judge that this community deserves. Our county deserves a judge that is fair, that is impartial, that remembers and understands that the law has to be applied equally to everybody, no matter race, no matter what, the law is there. That's something that I think that in our society, that's what keeps us from going into chaos. It's one of the things that I truly value, is because when you have a judge who is applying the law fairly and impartially. You have predictability, you have precedent. Those are the things that we as attorneys look at and look to when we're advising our clients, when we're talking to them as to what is going to happen in your case or what decision should you make. We look at the precedent, we look at what's happened before. That's what guides us. So that's important. That's important that judges do not put in their own interests, that they don't put in their own biases, and that they remember. Every judge needs to remember. Every judge remembers that you are there just to serve your community. It's not a job. It's really not. It's not a job. It's a service. It's a privilege to serve. And that's one of the things that really drives me and motivates me. Like I said, I've had 20 plus years of experience as an attorney. I've done trial work. I've done appellate work. I take up appeals on principle, which that's what I call when I have a case where the client can't afford to appeal, but the judge was wrong, just wrong. The judge didn't follow the law. And I appealed it. So there's recourses, and I do it. And I'm passionate about that. I'm passionate about making sure that due process. What is due process? You have the right to be treated fairly in a court of law. You have the right to notice. You have the right. There's procedures in place because we all deserve, all of us, no matter who we are, we deserve those minimum constitutional protections when we face a judge. So, a judge, did you know? And I know we have some elected officials on here watching, but did you know that you're much more likely to come face to face with a judge than any other elected official? And I'm not just talking about if you're caught up in everybody's like, well, I'm not a criminal. I'm not. No, but yes, you're right. There's a criminal division, but there's family law, there's civil disputes, but there's even jury duty. You may never have a case that involves you personally, but you've been called in to serve on a jury. And everybody, whether it's a potential juror, whether it's a litigant, somebody it's their case, whether it's an attorney, whether it's the clerk, whether it's a court reporter, whoever you are, when you walk into a courtroom, you should walk in understanding and believing that you will be treated respectfully, that you will be witnessing a procedure or process that is fair, that is not about any personal interest that the judge may have in his or her life. And that's the beauty of our system. That's really, truly the beauty. I'm kind of a little bit geeking out on this, but this is the truth. This is just who I am, and this is how I feel. Hey, Jaime, how are you? Good to see you. So anyway, so why do we vote for judges? Well, in Florida, there's a couple of ways for judges to become to get into office. And this is one of them. This election and this campaign is one of the ways that judges get elected. So I'm running. The elections I can't believe I've gone this long and haven't mentioned it, but the elections are August 18th. Okay, say it with me if you're watching. August 18th. We are going to be having the primary elections here in Miami-Dade County. And in those primary elections, that's when the judges are on the ballot. There are also, thank you, Jaime. He said, you got my vote. I'm like, thank you. That's when we're going to be having not only the judges, by the way, I want to make a point out. I think it's our responsibility to vote, but we also have local elections. There are several races, depending where you live, you may have a local mayor race, but we have our countywide mayor race is also on the ballot, August 18th. We have commissioner races. We have all those kinds of things going on. So it's important to get informed, and it's important to learn as much as you possibly can about all the races. And that's why I'm here. I don't want you necessarily to vote for me because someone told you to vote for me. I want you to vote for me because you believe in me as a candidate. And thank you, Eileen. Thank you for your vote. And everyone in your household, I appreciate it. So it's important to get to know the candidates and get to understand why particular judges are so important. In all of these races, like I mentioned before, you're much more likely to come face to face with a judge than any other elected official. And judges impact your lives immediately in that moment. You can have a decision, you can have a child custody dispute, and the judge has to decide in that moment if the child goes with mom or if the child goes with dad. It's as simple as that. You may have a case where you were injured in an accident, and those are generally jury trials. But there might be different rulings that the judge has to make in order to get you to a place where the jury may hear this piece of evidence or not hear this piece of evidence. So those decisions that are made day to day are made by judges. And that's why I say you're much more likely to come face to face with a judge than any other elected official. So in this upcoming race, judges, the circuit court judges, there's circuit court judges and there's county court judges. I'm running for circuit court judge. I don't have my ballot number yet. I've been asked, that's one of the questions that I was asked from last week. What's your punch number? Well, we don't punch anymore. Remember, we all remember the hanging chads way many years ago. But we don't punch anymore, but we do have ballot numbers. So those ballot numbers are expected to come out in the next few weeks. And when they come out, we will definitely, believe me, if you're on my social media, if you're on the campaign social media, I should say, you're going to find out what that ballot number is, because we want to make sure that you're able to find my name on the ballot. You should also probably just look for the longest name on the ballot, because I guarantee you that Denise Martinez-Scanziani is probably going to be one of the longest names on the ballot, at least in the judicial races. So who can vote in these August 18th elections? So if you live in Florida City, you can vote. If you live in Homestead, you can vote. If you live in Miami Lakes, you can vote. Hialeah, you can vote. So the point I'm making is, whether you're in Aventura, Homestead, Florida City, Kendall, any of those areas in Miami-Dade County, you can vote. You can, and you can vote not only for my race, but there are other races as well, where you'll be able to vote in your local elections. So I encourage you, if you're here and you haven't registered to vote yet, there's still time. You can do so. Another interesting and wonderful thing is that William, hace mucho tiempo. It's good to see you. If you're not registered to vote, you can still register to vote. And because we are currently in this kind of pandemic situation that we're still facing, you have the option to request what's called an absentee ballot. So an absentee ballot allows you to request by mail your ballot, and then when the ballots go out, the ballots will be going out approximately the second week of July. When those ballots come out, you'll be able to, just in the comfort of your own home, you'll take a pen and you'll go through the entire ballot for where you live, and then you sign it. You need to make sure you sign the same signature that you signed when you requested it, but when you sign it, you put it in the mail, and that's it. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go to early voting. You don't have to go there to election day. That's it. So you can do absentee ballots, and that will prevent you from leaving your home. But please vote, whether it's early voting, whether it's election day, or whether it's by absentee ballot. I urge you and encourage you to vote, not only in my race, but for every other race that you can possibly vote for. Again, let me see. I have more questions. Let me see what some of the questions are that I had from last week, because I've shared everything I have to share. Okay, let's see. Am I an extrovert or an introvert? Okay, well, would you believe me if I said I'm really an introvert? No, I love people and I love connecting with people. That's one of my favorite things to do. And I love engaging people and having, just getting to know people. I do love that. But I would say I'm probably a little bit more introverted, believe it or not. I like quiet times. I don't necessarily need to be out in the hustle and bustle and be with a lot of different people. I like quiet times. I like downtimes with my family. So that's, I guess that's the answer to that. Let's see. What is my favorite way to relax? Okay, well, I love these personal questions because I think that they'll tell you a little bit. Probably get to tell you a little bit about me as a person more than as a candidate. But so I love to read. I mean, I know it's not a big surprise, but I do love to read. That is my favorite way to relax, more so than watching TV. Reading for me is, I disconnect. I'm just somewhere else, and I use my imagination. And I can read. I literally, I'll finish. I'll get a book and I'll read, and I finish it. Then the next day, I'm picking up the next book. And audiobooks have now saved my life. Because I can be washing the dishes or doing laundry, and again, I can be listening to the audio books, and that's awesome. I was also asked what I'm binge watching during quarantine. Okay, so I'm not watching TV. I'm really not. I don't have the time. I'm trying to campaign from the comfort of my home. So I don't have a lot of time to watch TV, but if I were to be watching TV, I would probably watch Gilmore Girls. I haven't watched that in a while, and that's always a good show. Let's see. I got a message from my sister. Okay. Hi, Michelle. I'm glad you could join us. What's my favorite childhood movie? My favorite childhood movie is actually Goonies. So I love the Goonies. It's a great movie, and watching those kids, and it was just around my age, and those were the kids. So I can watch it over and over and over again. It stands the test of time. I've made my kids watch it. It's been a lot of fun. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Sandra. How are you? Thank you so much. You're too kind. You're too kind. Hi, Adriana. How are you? Hi, Pastor Pastora. How are you? Good to see you. So August 18th, 2020, I urge you please to remember me, Denise Martinez-Scanziani. If you're here and you've stuck around this long, I'm hoping that you have been persuaded, or you know me already and love me. You're just hearing more, but I'm asking you to tell a friend. Actually, tell 10 friends. If you can tell 10 people, I have about, at the top, I think there was quite a few of you on here. So if each of you tell 10 people to vote for me, that's a few hundred votes right there. So if you could do that for me, I really, really, really would appreciate it. I promise you that I am committed to being a judge who will be fair, who will be firm, who will respect everyone. That's key. You have to understand that judges are just servants. We are just there to serve. A judge is just there to serve the community. It's not a job. It is a position, and it is a privilege to be elected by the people of Miami-Dade County to sit in this position. And I can't express that enough. And when you have, well, anyway, I'll leave it at that. But August 18th, 2020, please tell 20 friends. The reality is people don't know how to vote for judges. Sometimes judges don't even get the votes. If you look at the ballots, you'll get the results, and they'll leave that area blank because they don't know. And it's so important. It's so important. Thank you. Please say hi to Jimbo. Say hi to the kids. Sandra, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. And just believe in me, believe in my story, and believe that my commitment to you is that I will uphold the law with integrity, with respect, with fairness. Please allow me to serve you in this position of trust. I do ask you that. So we are wrapping up now. I wanted to remind you again that we will be back next Saturday. Hopefully, we will not have the whole sideways issue like we did this time. We'll get that figured out. Not sure what happened because last time it worked great, but we'll get it figured out. Tune back in Saturday at 2 p.m. Every Saturday at 2 p.m. You can come back in. You can send me your emails. You can send me your questions at connect@deniseforjudge2020.com, connect@deniseforjudge2020.com. Go ahead and I'm here I promise you, I am an open book. Okay. I've answered my favorite childhood movie. I mean, I will tell you whatever you want to know if I'm able to, because we do have rules. Remember that judges are nonpartisan. So it's not about what I personally believe. It's what the law says, and it's what the law, how the law needs to be applied in any given case. Pastora, thank you so much. I appreciate your vote. Please share the news. Follow us on social media. If you're on Facebook now and you're watching, or you're on Twitter right now, or you're on YouTube, wherever you are, share the page. Invite your friends to like the page. I'm happy to answer whatever questions you may have. Remind everybody, every Saturday at 2 o'clock, this is Candidates Corner. I can't go out in the street to talk to you, but you can come here and meet me every Saturday at 2 p.m. on social media. This is the Candidates Corner, Denise for Judge. And if you want more information about my qualifications, we have a website as well. Just look through it, connect through the social media pages, deniseforjudge2020.com. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all of the expressed support and votes. Listen, today, right now, if everyone said that they're voting for me, I easily got 100 votes right here. So, just tell 10 more people, and that's how we do this, okay? Miami-Dade County is a huge county. Anybody from Miami Lakes, Hialeah, Miami Springs, all the way down to Florida City, Homestead, and everywhere in between. You could be in Westchester, South Miami, El Portal, Aventura, Miami Beach, I don't get wherever you are. Remember, if you are in Miami-Dade County, you can vote Denise Martinez-Scanziani, your next circuit court judge. Thank you. I'm signing off until next Saturday. Bye-bye.